It's been almost 13 years since terrorists attacked America on 9/11. These pictures, the painful memories, the American people, we will never forget. But it appears that some of our elected leaders have already forgotten. Not only did New York City's mayor shut down a program to hunt down Muslim extremists, now new reports claim the Obama administration might be tampering with trials, delaying justice for the terrorists who planned those attacks. Joe Connor lost his cousin in the North Tower of the World Trade Center that day. Right. Joe also lost his father in 1975 in a terrorist attack here in New York City. Joe, this really hits home for you. Yeah, it absolutely does. I work here in New York. We're connected to New York. We've been through it now twice as a family. And to think that we're now shutting down these surveillance programs and announcing it, I think that's an important part too. Not only are we saying that there has been surveillance, but now we're shutting it down. To me, that reeks of politics. All right, yeah, let's talk about the surveillance program. The new mayor here in New York, Bill de Blasio, has said that this is fair, that he's glad that the program has been shut down. These were investigators that were going through emails, watching Muslims where they pray, extreme Muslims, to find out where they're praying and get information, right, just to prevent another 9/11. Yeah, I mean, look, we all struggle with the First Amendment and fighting terrorism. Mm-hmm. But quite honestly, if we're focusing on those people who are preaching hate, then I think we have to surveil them, and I think we have to be on top of them, and I think we have to know what they're saying. Are we becoming too PC? Well, we're past that, I think. And I mean, PC used to be a nuisance. Now I think it's a noose. Mm-hmm. And PC almost gives it not a strong enough term. I think it's worse than that. I think that we've really are capitulating. Yeah. And if we think that by giving in to terrorists that they're going to like us, we haven't learned the lessons of history. And as a result, we don't feel as safe. I remember, I mean, I watched one of the movies, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it, the one that recently was released, and my husband and I walked out of the theater and we said, thank goodness that this is not, in our country we can walk out of a theater and we don't have to worry about being shot. And this was a movie about Afghanistan and what's going on in Afghanistan. And Zero Dark 30 or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And we said we don't have to deal with that. Should we, though, now as Americans, we're not surveilling our extreme Muslims. We're delaying these trials down in Gitmo right now. Should we feel like we're not as safe? I think we should. And I think what happens is, for the politicians, 13 years is a long time. For them, my father's death almost 40 years ago is a very long time. Yeah. But for the families and for people who went through it, it is as if it's happening again to them now. And Joe, all these families went down to Gitmo for these trials, and now they're delayed. Let's talk about that. Sure. Why are these trials delayed? What do you think's going on? I think it's on both sides. Quite honestly, I think you have a prosecution that is happy to have them delayed, because I think the Obama administration wanted to shut down Gitmo from the beginning. And I think you have a defense that is also on the same, would like these delayed too. So the only one who's suffering right now are the families. So we have families going down there saying, should I trust our government? Mm-hmm. And the fact is that no, they shouldn't, because we've seen it before. Eric Holder is now the Attorney General of the United States. In 1999, when he was Deputy Attorney General, he orchestrated the release of the FALN terrorists that killed my father. Okay? So now we know that this Justice Department is capable of using terrorism for politics. So after releasing terrorists in '99 to gain traction for Hillary Clinton's 2000 Senate run, delaying these trials, it's nothing to them. At the same time, I think the defense is also looking to delay these things, push them out in the hopes of eventually getting them on trial in civilian court. Yeah. In New York. The administration needs to think about your family this Holy Weekend, because two chairs at your dining room table are empty. You're right, and I wanted to say my cousin Steve, who was killed on 9/11, Steve Schlag, yesterday would have been his birthday. He was born on Easter Sunday, 1960. Wow. And, we suffer, his parents suffer, his sisters suffer every day. And, my father was his godfather. So, it's the families, and I feel for those people who went down to Guantanamo Bay. They're seeking justice, as we have for so long. And it seems the politics of the situation eventually takes over from the people affected, and that's a sin. Wow. We need to prevent more people from going through what you've gone through. We do, and we need to get people out there and talking about it and understanding it. Thank you. Thank you, Ainsley.